Okay, is my screen clear? واضحة شاشة. طيب, okay, so today we'll start the new chapter 2 اللي هو functions and graphs. First, if we have any point في XY plane, okay, يعني مثلا let's assume that عندنا X وال Y axis, okay. طبعا we have the points 0, 1, and 2, 3, minus 1, minus 2, and x. So you can do a scale. Type, for instance, let's assume that we have this line. طبعا line mean minus infinity line, infinity, I can stand it, correct? Type, let's assume we have this line, and in this line we have 2 points. The first point here, the coordinates حقتها x1, y1, okay? And we have another point here, coordinates حقتها x2 and y2. Now, if we want the distance between these 2 points, how we can find the distance between 2 points? طيب, في real line, okay, if we have في real line اللي هو مثلا this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, and etc. correct? 3 and etc. 4, okay. So for instance, if I need the distance between 1 and 4, so what is it? Okay, if we call this a point, and this is the other point, so this is the point x1, and this is the point x2. So what is the distance between x2 and x1? So it is just x2 minus x1, which is 4 minus 1, correct? So this 4 minus 1, which is 3, correct? It is 4 minus 1, which is x2 minus x1 here. Type. Now, but here this point طبعا this لو كانت البوينت here ليه؟ لانه الاحداثيات حقتها كان بتكون شنو؟ يعني الهايت الزيرو صح؟ حتكون x1 و0 يعني هنا حتكون x1 و0 okay, and this one here if this is x2, this one here x2 البوينت في الاكس axis صح؟ x2 sorry and 0 x2 و 0. طيب, now if I need the distance between these 2 points, okay, what we can do? We can do just a line that is parallel x-axis like that, and this one which is parallel y-axis like that. طيب, we have Pythagoras theorem. Pythagoras theorem بيقول شنو? The square of the hypotenuse is equal to the addition of the square of the 2 other sides. يعني this one square plus this one square is equal to this one square, correct? مربع الوتر بيساوي مجموع مربعي الضلعين الآخرين, correct? دي النظرية. طيب, okay, so first of all, what is this distance from here to here? Okay, it is the same as this distance from here to here, correct? It is x2 minus x1, and this one here, okay, it is what? It is this height, okay, as well, minus this height, correct? Which is الهايت الأولاني, the first one was y2, and this one from here to here, it is the y1, correct? لأنه الارتفاع ده هو y1, okay, so it's same as this one y1. يبقى يبقى this here, it is y2 minus y1. Okay, and now if I need which length I want, this length from Pythagoras theorem, it is the square of this plus the square of this under the square root, which actually this formula. يبقى from now on, if we have any 2 points, okay, this one and this one, or this one and here, this one, or any other point, this one here, whatever. So any 2 points in a plane, we can represent it بالx coordinate والy coordinate في الاكس y coordinate صح؟ طيب if I have 2 points, I want the distance between these 2 points, we will use this formula to find it. Okay.
دكتورة
ايوه واضحه السكرين؟
ممكن بس تكبر الشاشة؟
طيب اوكي انا بس عايزه سبيس بالجنبه اكتب فيه، وبخاصه دي لانه مرات الشات ما بيظهر لي، فعلى اساس انه لو في حد كتب حاجه. but okay let me do it like that. okay clear now.
clear.
Yes.
okay طيب يبقى this is الفورمولا دي عشان ما نجيب بيها distance between 2 points. and now if we want عندنا 2 points and we want to find the midpoints. طيب the same here لو كان عندي this is my real line correct. so لو كان دي point مثلا 2 and this the point 7, what is the value of the point here in the middle? what is it لو كان عندي في الاكس axis 0.27, so what is the one in the middle? what you will do, without solving, can you get it easily? yeah I can get it easily صح بين 2 و 7. خلينا اخد عليك كمان عشان تبقى اوضح. let me put it for you 8. so what is the point in the middle between the 2 and the 8? okay what is it? tell me, do you know it? easily I can do 2 plus 8 over what? over 2. 2 plus 8 is 10, so 10 over 2, this is 5. so isn't it 5 is the value of the point in the middle? from here 2 plus 3 is 5 and 5 plus 3 is 8. يبقى yes, the point 5 is the point of in the middle. okay يبقى to find the point of the in the middle, okay لو في x axis I'm going to add the x1 plus x2 and then divide it over 2. clear? طيب and also if I have the y-axis like this, I can do the same. so between this point and this point, because it is the points الإحداثيات في y-axis هنا x1 و0 في x-axis correct وهي and 0. طيب في y-axis هيكون الكوردينات شنو 0 y1 and 0 مثلا y أو 2 و2 هنا 2 y1 y2. لكن لو كان الواي axis itself اوكي يعني انا بتكلم عن هنا this is a point 0 اوكي or even لو اخذ اي line here parallel to this في الكوردينات يعني لو x here مثلا minus 2 كان حيكون here minus 2 and y1 مثلا and here minus if you need up or down ما في مشكلة but still here minus 2 and y2 correct. okay if بتكلم عن y1 y2 the point in the middle y1 plus y2 also over 2. okay and any point في ال xy plane I can write it in terms of 2 points x1 y1 و x2 and y2. طيب if I need the value of this one which in the middle, how can I get it? you can do the same like you did before. okay what is this? actually here and this is here. okay this is the point. طيب let's if we draw the triangle. okay so this is the middle of this correct and this is the middle of this line correct ولا لا؟ this line الميدل point here الإحداثيات حقتها شنو؟ إذا كانت دي x this is x1 and this is x2. إذا كان ده x axis حتكون شنو؟ حتكون x1 plus x2 over 2. This is the x value. x1 plus x2 and then over 2. Yes? وطبعا البوينت الثاني لانه I am in the x axis اللي هي البوينت الثانيه اللي هي حقت y is equal to 0. طيب and what about this one؟ اللي هي نفس الهايت طبعا بتاع الواي اكسس في الواي اكسس correct wherever الواي اكسس anyway الفاليو هتكون y1 plus y2 over 2. اوكي وطبعا بعد ذاك دي الواي فاليو والاكس فاليو على حسب what is the x value لانها it's the same. طيب if لو كان الواي 0 الواي لو كانت الزيرو 0 plus 0 over 2 هتديني الفاليو بتاعت الهايت is 0 طبعا ده لو كان this is the y axis. Anyway to get the point in the middle how we can get it if we have any 2 points here and here just add x values and divide over 2 and for the y value y1 plus y2 and then over 2. Okay, so this will give us the point here in the middle between these 2 points, this point and this point. Okay, so x1 plus x2, okay, over 2 and y1 plus y2 over 2. And let's take an example here. He gave me 2 points. First, he need the distance between the 2 points, and then also he want the point in the middle between these 2 points. So we put the formula and we just substitute in the formula. What is the formula? A distance between 2 points is equal to square root of x2 minus x1, the whole square, correct? Plus y1 minus y2, the whole square. Okay, which one is x1 and which one is x2? x1, y1, which one is x2, y2? There is no difference. Take any one, okay? So if I call this one, for instance, x1, so I have to call this one y1. If I call this one x2, then definitely this is the y2 of it. And then you can start working. x2 minus x1. So it's going to be x2 is 6. 6 minus, what is x1? It is minus 4. So, but here there is a minus, so correct? So minus 4, okay? And then square it plus y2 minus y1. Okay, so it is minus 1, minus 1 and minus also minus 5, okay? And then you square after that. طيب اللي هتكون شنو 6 minus minus, so it is plus 6 plus 4 is 10. 10 square is going to be equal to, and don't forget the square root of that all of this quantity. So it is 100 plus طيب minus 1 plus 5, which is equal to 4, correct? So plus, this is 4, so plus 4 square, which is 16. Okay, and then after that, we get the square root for this quantity, which is equal the square root of 116, and you have the calculator, you can evaluate it. So what if I reversed? سميت دي x2 y2 as a homework, you go and do it. غير التسمية. سمي دي x2 and this is y2 and this is x1 and this is y1. Do you think you're going to get a different result? Definitely no. لأنه at the end هنا في square and here there is a square. So you will get the same answer. Clear? يبقى ما في مشكلة. Just fix ال x1 الواي coordinate حقها هتسميه y1 and also the x2 والواي coordinate حقها هتسميه y2. Is it clear? طيب now also we want the midpoint between these 2 points, and in these 2 points I want the value of the point in the middle between them. How we get it? We use the formula. What is the formula? الفورمولا بتقول لي الميد بوينت انا عايز الاكس كوردينيت حقتها والواي كوردينيت حقتها. الاكس كوردينيت الفاليو حقتها x1 plus x2 over 2 والواي فاليو y1 plus y2 over 2. and we have our x1 and our x2. So what we do, we add them. -4 plus 6, which is +2, correct? 2. And then over 2. And what about the y value? And here -5 plus -1, which is -6. -6 over 2. So I got the x value or y value, and this is, if we simplify, it is 1 and -3, correct? So this is the point in the middle between what? Between these 2 points. Is it clear? So now if we have an equation, if we want to graph it, what we do, what is the how we can make the graph of that. طب in particular if we're dealing with مثلا اسمه شنو linear equation in 2 variables. يعني مثلا لو كان عندي y بتساوي 2x plus 3, how we can plot that and what is the graph. Actually what we do, we do like that. We put here, we assume some x values from the real line and substitute here, and we will find the corresponding y value there. So I'll put here the x and the value for a certain x. مثلا لو أخذت x, for instance, -1, okay, and when we substitute with it here, -2 plus 3, which is 1. طيب what if I took x 0, 0 plus 3, then the value is 3. But what if I took the value 1, 1, okay, plus 2, 2 by 2 plus 3, then that is 5, and etc. And we can find infinitely many of them. طيب how we graph? We draw our xy, x axis y axis صح? This is our x axis and this is our y axis, and we use a scale مثلا 1 and 2 and then 3 and 4 and etc. like that. Okay, and also here -1, -2, -3, and yes, okay. And also we make scaling here. If I took it 1, 2, 3 and etc. And then after that, and also here, okay, and then I have 1 is corresponding to an x value -1. When x is -1, y is 1. So this is, and this is, and then I put the point. So this is the first point. And then after that also 0 with this 3, correct? So when x value is 0, okay, I'll hide is what is 3. So this is the other point, 0 and 3 and etc. So I plot all of them and I graph it after that. How? By joining the points. Okay. بعدها مثلا 105 when this is 1 هنا عندنا 0.5. So this is the third one and etc. So you plot by joining the points together. طيب, the graph, okay, so we can have it just a function and then we do find the points. طيب, actually we can write these points like that. We do the set, okay, so my graph passes through the points what, okay, start listing -1 and 1 and through 0 with 3 and through 1 and 5 and etc. Okay, so يبقى if لو كان عندي الجراف حقي البلوت حقي الجراف, okay, so this is the x value and this is the y value as per a certain relation or a certain function. Okay, طيب if I need the x and the y intercept, if I have any curve, okay, for instance, let's say if I have this curve, this is my x axis, okay, and for instance, this is okay. This is the x-axis, and for instance, this is my y-axis. Okay. Now, what do we need? We need the x-intercept. What is the x-intercept? This is where your graph meet the x-axis, where it meets the x-axis. So this is one of the points, correct? And also here, another point, and here, another point. So what is, how we can find the x-intercept if we have any equation, for instance, like that? How we find it? Okay, طبعا this graph, by the way, is different than plotting like that. You will know later that if we draw this, this is going to be just like a straight line. But for now, if we have any graph, not only straight line, how we can find the x-intercept? Okay, so the x-intercept, that means where your graph meets the x-axis, like here. What do we have? Here we have the y value for the x-intercept. عندنا شنو؟ y is equal to 0. صح؟ ما في height. y value is شنو؟ يعني هنا I have x1 و0, correct? Here I have x2 و0. الفاليو بتاعتي بتاعت البوينتس. So always, if you want the x-intercept, what you do? You substitute in your equation by y equals 0, and then you find these points. Clear? The other one is the y-intercept. The y-intercept. What is the y-intercept? What is the y-intercept? That means where your graph meet the y-axis. But where my graph meets the y-axis? Here, for instance, it meets, what is now? Then your graph meets here. طيب. This is the y-intercept. It's where your graph meets the y-axis. طيب, what is the value here? إذا كان ده x-axis and this is the y-axis. الvalue here حقت شنو؟ y x بتساوي 0. يبقى عشان ما اجيب y-intercept, we are going to substitute where the values of the x is equal to 0, or we substitute by x equal to 0 in your graph. يبقى x intercept الفاليوز حقتك هي شنو؟ x intercept الفاليو حقتنا شنو؟ x intercept قلنا y 0. يبقى a point like this and 0. A point x1, a value and 0. طيب, what about the y-intercept? What is the 0? X value. It is 0 and some value y. Let's call it y1, for instance. Okay? يبقى points like this, ده معناها طوالي. What is this? This is the y-intercept. There is a value for the y, but the x value is 0. It will give us the y-intercept, where your curve meet the y-axis. And this is where your curve meet the x-axis. Okay? Let's take some example. Here, by the way, if I need the y-intercept, we have this equation. If I need the y-intercept, what I'm going to do? I put an x value by 0, so that is y is equal to 3. Okay? يبقى here in this one, لو عايزة y intercept, I need the y points. What do we have? We said we put the x value by 0. So what about the y? هتبقى this is 0. Y is going to be equal to 3. So the point is 0 and 3. Okay? Type, if we need the x intercept, what we do? We substitute في محلة y by 0, and then we get the x. Type, when we substitute the y by 0, then the equation is going to be equal y 0 is equal to 2x plus 3 correct. So إذا what is the x value؟ يبقى 2x is equal to minus 3 يبقى حتكون ال x بتساوي minus 3 over 2. So the point هنا الفاليو حقت ال x حتكون كم؟ minus 3 over 2. Okay and 0. يعني minus 3 over 2 and 0 like that. So is it clear? Is it clear? Okay, let's take some examples. First, if we want to graph this, so x a relation حاجتنا x بتساوي y square minus 4. How can I plot that? Easily, just make your x coordinate and your y coordinate and take some points. يعني when y be minus 3, put here. When y is easily to get this one, صح? To substitute here to get the x value. Minus 3 square 9, 9 minus 4 5 يبقى ال x value is 5. When y is minus 2 square is 4, 4 minus 4, then the value is 0. Okay, so I have this. Now this is my y coordinate and this is the x coordinate. Just represent the points. 5 or minus 3. So when this is 5, yeah, x value 5, and y is minus 3 down here. Okay, so I put this point and etc. 0 with minus 2, 0 with minus 2. So I draw this and continue like that till you find many points and then you can plot your graph. So it's clear, correct? طيب عايزين the x-intercept. What is the x-intercept؟ احنا قلنا ال x-intercept where your graph, this is my graph, meet the x-axis. Actually الفاليو حقته المفروض تكون this value. طيب let's solve it. How we solve؟ احنا قلنا if we want the x-intercept, what do? We substitute في ال y ب 0, correct؟ عشان to get the x-intercept. يبقى في ال x-intercept substitute ال y بتساوي 0. Yeah. يبقى حتكون x بكم؟ minus 4. يبقى ال x intercept is minus 4 or it meets الجراف it meets the x axis at the value x ب minus 4. طب what is the y value؟ ال y value طبعا it is 0 صح؟ احنا من الأول اهي معوضينها ب 0. We substitute 0 for it. يبقى the point is the point what and what? minus 4 and 0. So this is where your graph meets the x-axis. طيب عايزين ال y-intercept. What we do? We substitute the x is equal to the 0 here. يبقى we substitute x by 0. So we have x بتساوي y square minus 4 square يبقى 0 بتساوي minus sorry y square minus 4 and then we solve this and before we knew how to solve that اللي حيكون شنو؟ إذا y square بتساوي 4 and that is y is equal to what؟ لأنه this is even so plus or minus the square root of 4 which is 2 so plus or minus 2. Okay, so there are two values where your curve meet the y-axis. What are these points? طيب احنا جبنا ال y value. What is the x value? The x value is 0. So the points are 0 or 2 and 0 or minus 2. Which are these points? It's clear where your graph meet the y-axis. Is it clear how to get the x-intercept or y-intercept for all of us? يبقى for now we knew how to find the point, a distance between 2 points, how to find the middle point, how to find the x-intercept, how to get the y-intercept. Clear? طيب, now we want to talk about the circle. What is the circle? What is the definition of the circle? طيب, if we have a fixed point, okay, so what is the circle? It is the point that moves, okay, such that always this point will have the same distance from this point. So, and this distance we call it r. Also from this point to this point, this is r, and etc. If you're moving like that, also from this point to this point is r. So we can define it as a point that move. Okay, if we have a fixed point, so our circle is the point that moves such that always the distance between this point and اللي هي في center, okay, and my point is a constant distance, and this constant distance we call it the radius of the circle. يبقى a circle is a set of all points, or a point is moving لأنه moving معناها here this is x value مختلفة صح y value مختلفة من this point مختلفة من this point, okay, so it's a set of points actually in a plane that are equidistant from a fixed point called the center. So such that this set of points here, they have the same distance where from the that point in the center. Okay, and this constant distance we call it the radius of the circle. Right. Now, if we have any circle like this, okay, what is the equation for this circle? From the definition, what do we say? We said that if we fix any point, arbitrary point here, let's call it x, y. So we have any arbitrary point x, y. Okay, so always for any arbitrary, this one or this one or this one or this one, it has a constant distance from this point. What is, and this point we can give it the coordinate مثلا hk، ما فرقت اسميها hk اسميها mo n اسميها whatever. Okay, طيب يبقى what is the equation? We said that always this distance should be a constant quantity and we call it the radius and we give it the name r. طيب okay, what is the distance between these 2 points? الرول اخذناها اول اللي هي بتقول شنو؟ بتقول السكوير روت اوف distance between 2 points. This is الاكس coordinate والواي coordinate وهنا الاكس 2 y 2 وهكذا صح؟ اللي هي حتكون شنو؟ تكون x minus h the whole square, correct, plus y minus k the whole square. This is equal to what? Is equal to this distance which we call it the radius r. And now if we squared both sides هيحصل شنو؟ We will remove this لو عملنا square تربيع, okay, and here it will appear square. So this is equation of a circle that has a center. center حقها شنو الفاليوز حقته h و k و r square الراديوس square is this value here. So if I need the radius, just we get the square root for this quantity here. Is it clear? يبقى خلاص we have to make sure that we know that the equation of a circle is x minus h the whole square plus y minus k the whole square. This is equal to r square. And I can easily memorize it لأنه I understood from where it is coming. الايكويشن بتاعت السيركل. طيب let's see some examples. طيب write the standard form of the equation of the circle whose center is كده and whose radius is كده. Now he want me to write the equation for this circle. I have in my mind the equation of the circle. It is x minus h the whole square plus y minus k the whole square. This is equal to r square. So I have to write it in this form. Okay, do I have my h k? Yeah, this is my h. An x value of the center, it is h. Al y value of the center is k. So I have the h and the k. And do I have r? Yes, it is here. It is 5. So this is r because the radius is 5. So just remains to substitute. that هيكون عندنا x minus what is the h3? So x minus 3 the whole square plus y minus k. What is the k? K is minus half. So minus minus half. Okay, and then square This is equal to r square. R is 5. 5 square is 25. Okay? Okay. If you want to expand, you can expand, or you can even leave it like that. So it is x minus 3 squared plus y plus half, because minus minus, correct? And then square is equal to 25. I would like to expand it now to show you something. We need it later, but let's do it from now. طيب if we expand فك البراكت هيبدأ يبقى شنو؟ تبقى x square minus 6x plus 9, okay? Plus, now I'll do this one here. اللي هو I want to expand this bracket. So the first square, y square, plus twice first في second, 2 في y في half, which is 1 في y, plus half square, which is 1 over 4, correct? This is equal to what? This is equal to the 25. Okay, we can simplify more if you like. Okay, we can write it as x square. If I multiply طبعا the left hand side or right hand side but by the same quantity, the equality will remain. صح ولا لا؟ طيب okay. What if I multiply both sides ب 4? I can. But خلينا نخليها a constant في one side. Okay. على اساس انها تبقى more clear. طيب x square, okay, plus خلاص كتبتها y square, okay, minus 6x, okay, plus y, okay. Take the 9 and the 1 over 4 that side if you like, or bring this one here. Okay, if we wrote it here, so it's going to be 9 minus 25 and then plus 1 over 4, correct? Right. So which is minus 16, correct? Plus 1 over 4. And he's 16 minus 16 plus 1 over 4. Okay, so this is going to be minus 15 and 3/4, like that. Anyway, it's a constant. شوف equation حقتي, and this is طبعا this hand is equal to 0. So you will find that the equation, whenever you find something like that, طوالي immediately you will know that this is an equation of a circle. And sometimes we can have it written like that. It is x square plus y square plus a value, let's call it whatever, nx plus my plus a constant is equal to 0. Okay, so this kind of equation is also representing what? A circle. So either in this form or in this form. Okay, I mean here this form. But in this form, immediately you can find from the equation the center. لو هي كانت محطوطة في الصورة دي, immediately I can find the center value. اللي هي center طوالي h و k. And also I can find the value of the radius. While here I have to do some work to find the center and to find the radius. I cannot find it immediately. واضح? Clear? Okay. Why do we have, 2y? What do you mean by 2y? You can open your mic. Open your mic. What do you mean by 2y? I don't have 2y. Where is 2y? You mean the term y square here, my? This one?
We have y square, and then we have like y square minus 6x plus y. So why do we have that plus y?
Just expand this bracket here. I'm expanding this bracket here, this bracket and this bracket. If you expanded this, this is going to be y squared plus twice the first time the second, صح, the middle term, which is y. 2
Okay.
في half is 1. 1 في y is y. Plus this one is square, which is 1 over 4. I'm just
Oh,
expanding this. Okay?
okay. Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Welcome. And even sometimes يعني لو كان ال n بزيرو ممكن الترم ده يكون not there. Okay? أو ال m بزيرو. And by the way, the circle that passes through the origin, okay, مش passes, that has from here, it's clear, more clear from here. What if a center is the origin? يعني لو كان عندي a center of the circle like this, okay, and here is my circle. Okay, what is the equation usually of this kind of equation? Just you have an h value here is 0, well, a k value is 0. So the equation is going to be x squared plus y squared is equal to r squared. So for instance, if we have a circle like x squared plus y squared is equal to the 4. It is the circle that has a center at point 0, 0, and the radius is equal square root of 4, which is equal to 2, like that. Clear? Right. So that means here sometimes you can have an x you not founded or the y. Yeah, it's also possible. But here the most important things like لازم يكون في should be x square plus y square. Can I have a term like x في y? يعني مثلا يكون في 2xy? Never. يبقى if there is something like that, this is not an equation of a circle. لأنه here, even if I expand a number times x plus a number, a real number times x, or a real number times y. And this real number can take a value 0, 2, half, square root of 3, whatever. Clear? Okay. An equation of a circle written in the form x squared plus y squared plus ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. Okay, so here is clear that, yeah, the equation of the circle, it could be in the form x squared plus y squared plus a constant phi x plus another constant b phi y plus c is equal to the 0. Yeah, this also is an equation of a circle. Or else, what is the other one? It is x minus h the whole square plus y minus k the whole square is equal to r square. Why? We found that if we expanded this, we're going to get, لو عملنا expansion فكينا ده, you are going to reach here to this one here. Okay? So make sure that you know that this actually this equation, it's the same as this equation, but we made just expansion here and we can reach there. Okay? طيب. Now, if I have an equation like this, can I, طبعا easily from here I can go there just by expanding. طيب now, if I have this equation and I want to know the center of this circle and the radius, what should I do? I'll try to write it in this form because easily from here I can, from this equation, I can find the radius and the center. Okay, يبقى from this equation I can easily find the radius and the center. Okay, now let me give you an example before we go there. طيب لو كان عندنا مثلا sorry, لو كان عندي x minus 2 the whole square plus y plus 3 the whole square is equal to مثلا 81. Isn't it an equation of a circle? Yes. طيب لو قال لي what is the center? Tell me what is the center? A center اللي هو point H K. Okay, so I have to compare with what? With this form. Okay, so here كان في minus, here there is a minus, but here there is a plus. يبقى this part I have to write it, it's going to be y minus minus 3. The whole square is equal to 81. Correct? Why? Because here there is a minus and this here minus, so the k is the y value. يبقى the y value is minus 3. Okay, يبقى what is the center? The center, it's the point 2 what? Minus 3. So always be careful. Okay, is your equation in the same form like this one or no? Okay, so this is anyway now the center. Okay, then what is the radius? A radius r is equal to the 81. R square is equal to 81. Yes, يبقى r is equal to 9. The radius is 9. Clear? يبقى easily, if I have the equation in this form, I can find the center and I can find the radius. طيب. Now, what if I have this equation and he asked me to find the radius and the center? Is it easy? No, it's not easy as much as easy here. Okay, so one way I can what? I can try to write this in the form, which form? It's in the form x minus h square plus y minus k square is equal to r square to find the radius. Type, okay, if I want to do that, now I can rearrange my equation. Okay, look at this part here and look at this part here. I need what? I need a complete square. So I can use completing the square to write this equation as that one there. Okay, how we complete the square? You know that. يبقى عندنا البارت الأول كان عندنا x square plus minus 12x. I need plus something to have a complete square. And the other part can finish, you know, plus y square, correct? Plus 8y, okay, plus a missing number to have a complete square. Then we can take this 5 to that side. عشان we want the r square to be here. So this part is equal to what? Is equal to minus 5. Okay, what I'm going to add here in this part to make this a square bracket. What we do? We have to look at the middle term. Just divide it over 2. يبقى minus 12. We divide it over 2. This is equal to minus 6. Okay, so minus 6 squared, correct? يبقى value I need to add minus 6 squared, which is the 36. So that means I add here 36. But now I change. The equality will not be there. To have it, I have add to the other hand also 36. Okay, طيب. Okay, so I finished with this part. Okay, الفirst واحد اللي هو this one. يبقى what is the bracket here now? It is x minus what? A 6 the whole square. And if you expand it, you're going لو فكيت دي, I'm going to find what this one here. Correct? And now we do the same for this part here. Okay, so what I'm going to add? Also this term, this is twice the first time the second. This is twice. Okay, الفirst اللي هو 4 times the second اللي هو y. يبقى السكند حقي هو شنو؟ 4. يعني معناها 8 over 2 this is equal to what? This is equal to the 4. And then the 4 square, this is equal to the 16, correct? يبقى what I'll add, I am adding 16 here. So I should add in the other hand also 16 as well. And now I can write my equation. This part is what? It is y, assign حاجتها positive صح? Plus 4 the whole square is equal. And now we simplify these values here, and you will find this is equal to 47. And then now we have our equation, which is this one. And easily from here, what we do? What is the center? Center هو H K. So this is هيكون شنو؟ Here ال H base 6. What about the K? لازم دي تكون minus. يبقى هنا this is minus 4. Correct? يبقى minus 4. 6 و minus 4. Okay, what is the radius? We have r square is equal to 47. Then what is the r? R is the square root of 47. Am I going to take positive or negative values? No, only positive value, because a radius is a length. Always the length should be a positive quantity. يعني هنا لما تيجي تاخذ الجذر ما حتاخذ plus or minus square root of 47. ليه؟ لأنه radius is a length, والlength always is a positive quantity. Okay? Clear? Clear كلنا؟ طيب, there is another way. Okay, if you like, choose the easiest. Okay, I'll tell you another way. Type. Look at this equation here. If we expand it, what we are going to get? Expand this equation. What you will get? We will get x squared minus 2xh, okay, plus h squared, and then plus y squared minus 2ky plus k squared is equal to r squared, correct? طيب, now compare. Take all the things that on the other hand. يبقى الايكويشن حقتنا كان هتكون شنو؟ هتكون all the constant to the other hand هتكون x squared minus 2xh. Okay, so this is constant, and this is constant, and this is constant. So all I'll leave them in the right hand. Then 2xh هتكون plus y squared minus 2ky. Okay, this is equal to what? R square minus h square اللي هو رحلت ديل to the other side. Okay, minus h square minus k square. And now just compare. Compare what? Your equation. What is my equation? The original one here. With this one after I expand. Okay, x square or y square, I don't need them, correct? So the comparison, an additional minus 2xh is equal to minus 12x. The coefficient بتاع x is minus 12. What is the coefficient of x? Is minus 2h. This one you can write it as minus 2hx. Okay, يبقى I need a minus 12 is equal to minus 2h. يبقى minus 2h is equal to minus 12, and that means the h is equal to what? Is equal to the 6. Correct? Okay, so if you don't like expanding the bracket, you can do the opposite. You try to expand this. عايز تعمل completing للبراكت, expand this and then compare the coefficients. عندي الايكويشن دي هي نفسها الايكويشن الاصليه. يعني احنا خليني امسح اكيد and we did it. Actually, we did completing the bracket in the previous class, correct? But if you like, it's up to you. This is here. is going to be equation. If I expand this one here حتكون هنا equation x square plus y square minus 2hx, correct? And then minus 2ky, correct, is equal to, take 5 there, يبقى هنا this is minus 5, okay, this is equal to r square minus h square minus k square, and then compare. يبقى ال minus 12 هي ال minus 2h، يبقى ال h ب 6. خلصنا الأول. نجي لل k minus 2k, this is equal to 8. يبقى ال k is equal to minus 4, correct, minus 4. Same like that. خلاص عندي ال h وال k. What I do? I have to substitute here. Okay, عايزة أطلع ال r square. Yes, يبقى ال minus 5 بتساوي r square minus ال h 36 square. صح؟ 6 square اللي هي 36. And then minus minus. What is the k square? 4 تربيع ب 16. So you do the calculation, make r the subject and find the r. But it's a long way. So if lay y minus 2, from where I'm getting these things? Here, compare ال 8 y here minus 2 ky. يبقى ال 8 ب minus 2k. Is it clear now? يبقى minus 2k بتساوي 8، يبقى ال k بيساوي minus 4. Okay? Clear? ربع. Is it clear? Okay. طيب. Now functions and relations. طيب. If we have any ordered pairs like this, مثلا 2 with the 5 and مثلا 3 with the 7, okay, and مثلا 1 with the, let me write 5 and etc. Okay, and for instance 2 with the 6. Okay, let me finish like that. What do we call this? We call it relation. The ordered pairs, and this ordered pair, the 2 is related with the 5 and the 3 is related with the 7, the 1 is related with the 5, the 2 is related to the 6. And this I can draw it by a map like that. You put an x values here and the y values here in 2 sets. So what x values I have? I have 2 and I have 3, correct? And I have 1 and then again 2. خلاص, that's it. طيب, what is al value, al y value? I have the 5 and I have the 7 and then again 5 and then 6. And then I have a map. 2 is related to the 5, yes. 3 is related to the 7 and 1 is related to the 5 and 2 is related to the 6. Okay, so there is a relation between the x values or y values, and we can represent them like that or by this. And sometimes they may be an equation that represent this relation. Okay. طيب, يبقى a general case we knew this is what we call the relation. Okay. Or this kind of sets, okay, we call it a relation. طيب, now look, be careful. First, every element here في this set A is mapped هل في element here مثلا extra that has no map? No, there is no. So every element here is mapped first. Second, the 2 has more than one map. Okay? Okay. Now let me take another example. If I made this relation like that, I had it at 2 or 3 or 1, and here I have the 2 is mapped to the 5, and the 3 is mapped to the 7. Okay, well, 1 is mapped to the 5 like this. Okay, and even I can leave the 6 like that without a map. What's the difference between this one and this one here? Here, every element, first of all, in A is mapped. Every element is mapped. يعني طالع منه سهم. There is an arrow coming out of the elements here. طيب, look at, and this is the B. Okay. Moreover, each element here, like the 2, okay, is mapped to what? To a unique element here. يعني I cannot find 2 arrows coming out of any element here. Please mute your mic. Please close your mic. So, for instance, طيب طيب يبقى شنو؟ Every element here, it's, you know, it's mapped, يطلع منه سهم, to a unique element here. I cannot find an element here like this that has 2 arrows. Okay, only 1 arrow. If this happened, this we call it a function. So this is a relation, but this is even, yeah, it is a relation, but moreover, I can call it as a function. يبقى let's define what is a function. A function, it's a map or it's a relation, but there is 2 conditions should be satisfied. The first one, every element here should be mapped. لازم يكون عنده mapping. Okay, and to a unique element. A unique element يعني I cannot find 2 arrows coming from any element here. Only 1 arrow should come out. يبقى to make sure that it is a function, what? To make sure that it is a function, what? Every element here في الدومين should be mapped. The second thing also we have to look here. Every element here should be mapped to a unique element. ما يطلع منه 2 arrows. يبقى yes, this is a function. While this one is not a function. Why it is not a function? It is a relation, yes, but it is not a function. Why? Because the 2 has mapped to the 5 and also mapped to another number اللي هو 6. يبقى immediately it is not a function. Clear? And here from this one, even if we did not plot it like that, easily I can know that it is a function or no. How? Here this is the 2, had a map 5. Here a 2 again and had a map 6. يبقى if an element is related to more than 1 element, our 2 occurs twice, or any element occur twice with 2 different elements, it is not a function. واضح؟ يبقى here this is clear لانه في 2 و 5 وكمان 2 و 6. لو كان 2 و 5 again ما في مشكله، لكن to a number that is different than this one. It is not a function. Clear? Type and now we will call the element in this first set. We call this set is the set of what? Domain. So this is the domain of the function. This is from where you will pick your element and substitute. Later, you will know if the function is given by a formula. Anyway, this set, okay, from where you start from mapping, it starts from here and goes to this. This is, we call it the domain. This one, we call it the codomain. The codomain, okay? The codomain of the function. Type. Let's write the elements of this function. It is the elements 2 or 5. Wow. A 3 is mapped to the 7. While a 1 is mapped to the 5. So we have, this is our function. It graph بتاعها has these points. Now, هل every element here is mapped؟ هل أي element هنا جايه سهم؟ No. A 6 has no map. ما جاييها سهم. So is it possible? Yes. أنا مشكلتي الأساسية مع الelements هنا في الدومين. طيب. Moreover, we call the number 5 is the image صورة ل a 2 and the 1. So the element that received a map, we call it an, image. So this is image. يبقى 5 here image. Image for what? For the 2. 5 is also an image to the 1. Okay. And this, we call it a function f. And we say f, for instance, of 2, the element 2 is equal to what? It's mapped to what? To 5. Okay. F of 1 is equal to what? Also is equal to 5. ما في مشكلة. طيب f of 3 is equal to what? Is equal to 7. Okay. So al 5 with 7 are images. هل a 6 image? No. It is not an image. This is not an image. Okay. Now the set of images اللي هو شنو؟ فيه ال 5 وفيه ال 7. This we call it what? We call it the range of our function. So this is the range of our function. Okay. Ibga, let's go through the points again. A set of ordered pairs, x, y, is called a relation, like this one here. Even this one is a relation type. The set of x values is the domain. كل ال x values at this part, we call it the domain, correct? So this is the domain, okay. And the set of y values, it is the range of the relation. اللي هما ال y values اللي هو هنا f of 2 كم؟ f of not all that set. It could be all this set. يعني لو كان a 6 كان في number تاني مثلا كان في 4 here and the 4 is mapped to the 6 خلاص كان الرينج هو نفسه الست بتاع شنو؟ الكودومين. كانوا الاثنين بيكونوا متساويين. Okay. But sometimes, like our previous example, yeah, there is a 6 there, but but it received no map. ما كان جاييها map. Okay. ما كان جاييها map. So a range is apart from the codomain. It could happen. Yes, it could happen. ما في مشكلة. Okay. بس a set of images بنسميه الرينج. طيب given a relation in x and y, we say that y is a function of x if بنسميها function 200 if for each value of x each element هنا لازم يطلع منه سهم. In the domain there is exactly one and only one, or a unique value of y in the range. A unique arrow, something like that, so it's not the function. If also there is element here, can like 4, مثلا, if I put here 4 and it has no map, برضو it's not a function. That is, every element here should be mapped. اوكي، يبقى ديل الشرطين اللي هما the first thing in x, we say that y is a function of x if واحد, each value of x in the domain should be mapped. If for each value of x في map and to exactly one value. يبقى شرطين، كل element في ال A should be mapped and mapped to what? To only one element. A 2 only to the 5. A 3 only to the 7. ما بلقى 3 with the 7 and 3 with another thing. So is it clear now? Is it clear for all of you? طيب. Now, given
دكتورة
the... نعم. Yes.
بس إذا البي عادي تكون أكثر من نقطة مشبوكة فيها صح؟
Yes. الأذر اللي هو في البي yes ما في مشكلة. This
أوكي.
is something later you will know. اللي هي one to one function ولا on to etc. Okay. طيب given this relation 8 to 3 و 2 9 و 5 هي relation صح؟ ما في مشكلة، أي حاجة أي set we can call it a relation of ordered pairs like that. طيب elements بتاعنا الدومين هم شنو؟ What are the elements in the domain؟ اللي هم الدومين احنا قلنا الفيرست set اللي هم الاكس values correct؟ الدومين اللي هم الاكس values اللي هم this one and this one and this one ده اللي بيدونا شنو؟ الدومين الاليمنت اللي هم في الاي اللي هم في الاي اللي هو ده الدومين this is the A correct؟ طيب what is the range؟ الرينج الامage these elements map to what؟ map to the 2 طبعا هو نفسه 2 and then the 5 يبقى what is the range؟ الرينج هو الايمجز حقتي اللي هي 2 وال5 so the range is 2 and 5. طب question can we call this one a function؟ can we call it a function ولا في مشكلة؟ is it a function؟ yeah it is a function. I have to look at the 8 مع 2 هل في 8 تاني؟ no. 3 with the 2 هل في 3 تاني؟ no. and 9 with the 5 هل في 9 with something different than the 5؟ no. خلاص يبقى it is a function. اوكي clear؟ طيب نيجي للاكزامبل الثاني اللي هو عندنا 4 و 6 3 و 5 4 و 1. what are the elements في الدومين؟ 4 و 3 و 4 يعني 4 و 3. what are the elements في what are the images؟ what is the range؟ الرينج 6 و 5 و 1. okay. is this a function؟ no. it's clear no. why؟ because L4 has more than one image yes or map to two different elements L4 with the 6 and also with the 1. that is لو عملت L4 here okay you will find that two arrows are coming out واحنا قلنا only one arrow should come out of the 4. it should be mapped to only one element or to a unique element. هنا هي mapped to the 6 and the 1. so immediately خلاص this is not a function. clear؟ طيب now here 3 and 5 2 1 9 and 0 is it a function or no؟ is it a function or no؟ yes it is a function. 3 2 و 9 بمجرد ما لقيتهم different then it's okay. طيب لو جيت لقيت ثاني element here okay مخطوط فيه 3 و 5 does it matter؟ no because this element is the same as this only the 3 is mapped to the 5 so no new information. clear؟ so the repetition will give me nothing new. ما في مشكلة. نفس ordered pairs. 3 وال 5 يبقى only the 3 is mapped to the 5, nothing else. Clear? واضح؟ طيب. Now, if you have a graph, you plot your function, okay? So it's more easy to find that it is a function or no. لو أنا أصلا plot a relation, رسمت الجراف حقي, it's more easy, okay, to say that it is a function or no. How? There is what we call it the vertical line test. What is that? Take any vertical line like this, okay? Okay, vertical lines and pass it, okay? If anywhere in the graph it meets your graph in 2 different points, so it is not a graph of a function. It is not a function. Why? Here, what are the values for the graph here? مثلا, let's say 3 and مثلا 1 ولا 1.1. Okay, 3 and 1.1. ما في مشكلة. Okay, but what is this point? Again, it is 3, but minus 1.1. So the 3 has 2 different images, correct? It is not a function. يبقى vertical line test, just what do? You pass your line through your graph. The vertical line, ما أي line. Vertical line like this. If it meets your graph in more than 1 point, it is not a function. So it's clear this one is not a function. Type here, what if I draw a line like that? Everywhere it will meet my graph in 1 point. It is a function. This is a function while this one is not a function. Clear? Okay. Type now moreover. We want to know what is the domain. The domain always is the x value. This is the first set to where, okay, this one, we call it a domain, and this is the co-domain. Well, images, actually, a set of images اللي هو جايها map, okay, we call it what? An image. يعني لو this is mapped to this, so this one is image, okay. طيب, what is the domain? When you plot the graph, the domain is all the values you use to plot your graph. So the domain is what? This graph, once أنه في سهم كده, and this like this, that means it is extended to infinity. We draw part of it. So that means all the x values from minus infinity to plus infinity. This is your domain. All the x values from minus infinity to plus infinity. So this is the domain for this function. Now, there is the range. Also the range, if you have plotted your graph, easily you can get the range. Okay, what is the range? A range, it is the y values. All the values. الجراف حقك. What values, what y values it has. From هل الفايف الجراف is passing somewhere here؟ يعني اجي في حته الفايف في any drawing؟ No. So this is sorry minus 5. Type here في minus 4. Yeah. Actually the graph started from here. صح? Up to here there is a graph. طيب يبقى what is the range? Everywhere. You took any point here, then you will find what? A y value for it. صح؟ أي point في الجراف في y value. Point here there is. So that means all the points from minus 4 and up to infinity, and always from قلنا السايد بتاع infinity we keep the brackets, open. It's not closed. We draw like that. So يبقى what is my range? كل الpoints between minus 4 and up to infinity. From minus 4 and up to infinity. Correct? And it's clear. Correct? Take any point. Correct? بتلقى الجراف has a value. صح؟ يعني هنا البوينت دي this point. So all of them. يبقى what is the range? الرينج هو الانترفال from -4 and up to infinity. طيب here for this is not a function. طب okay, for this what is the domain? الدومين هو شنو؟ الاكس values. طيب البلوت from where to where؟ يعني انا هنا كان البوينت دي -3 and something، هي في مثلا 2 and half and something وهكذا، صح؟ Okay, so what are the x values? This is the domain from -4 and up to 4. Yes? يبقى الدومين اللي هم الاكس values. This is your graph. صح؟ So everywhere, every x value هنا it is there in the function, correct? يبقى from -4 and up to 4 and it is closed. صح؟ الانترفلز closed لأنه -4 is there in the graph and the 4 also is there in the graph. طب what is the range? الرينج هو y value. طب look here, y values is where from -2 and up to 2, correct? Everywhere from this side and this side you can find it in the graph. أي y value here, it is where it is there in the graph. So is it clear? If you have the graph of the function, easily you can get the domain and you can get the range. Clear? طيب now الfunctions طبعا احنا we knew that it could be like that, or it could be a map, okay, or like this and I can know, or it could be point or the graph, correct? Even sometimes you can find that like this, مثلا f of x equal to مثلا x plus 4. That is y is equal to x plus 4. Okay, so for instance, this is, yeah, it is a function, but okay, you have to test, is it a function or لا? يعني not from the first look you can know that it is a function or not a function، يعني not like the previous way representations. لو في plotting easy، لو كان في points yes. طيب anyway, it's not our problem here, okay, but also we can represent the functions by some equations like that. طيب now for instance, if we have f of x is given by a formula like that. Now, if you plot, you're going to find what you find. You're going to find a curve. In particular, quadratic equations, احنا قلنا something like that, correct? If you plot. طيب now, what do we mean مثلا by f of 2? f of 2, that is لو كان ده x axis حقك, okay, for instance like this, you come in the 2, okay, and then you find a y value, يعني 2 and what? The y value when x is equal to 2. How we find this? Just substitute 2 here in your function, and then that means you substitute 2 in the place of the x everywhere, and then you can find the value. So f of 2 is equal to what? Is equal to 14. That is the point when x by 2, y is 14. الإيمج حقت 2 it is 14. Clear? يبقى we can evaluate the function at different points by substituting in the x value. Okay. طيب what if we want f of x plus 4? Same way. That is, instead of x, now I need x plus 4. So we remove the x, and its place we substitute x plus 4. So that is going to be, so f of x plus 4, this is equal to 2 times, what is the x value? We take the x out, and its place we put x plus 4. Okay, so it's very important when more يعني, than one term is there to put a bracket, okay, because the two is multiplied on all the value of x. فيبقى here it is multiplied on the x plus 4. And then the square is for all the x. So this x plus 4, the whole is square. Clear? And then plus 3 multiplied by the x. And instead of the x, I'm going to put what? X plus 4. Okay, and now you can expand and simplify after that. We know how to expand the brackets. So it is 2 اللي هو ده x square plus ننفي twice الفirst في second, which is 8x plus 4 square, it's 16, and then 3x plus 4 is 3, which is 12. And then you expand and then you simplify, and that's it. So if we have f of x, we can find f of 2, f of x plus 4, f of x minus 7, f of y, f of z. That means in the place of the x, you're going to substitute that new value.
دكتورة
Okay.
لو سمحتي عيدي من فين حصلنا على x plus 4؟
ما حصلنا عليها من أي حتة. This is هو قال لك إذا كانت دي الفانكشن حقتك f of x is equal to 2x squared plus 3x. Find f of x plus 4. أوجد f of x plus 4. What you will do? Take an x plus 4 and substitute it in the place of the x, and that's it.
Okay, clear.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other question?
No.
طيب. And at the beginning, we mentioned, or we found the x-intercept and the y-intercept, and we say that to find the x-intercept we substitute y بتساوي 0, and to find the y-intercept we substitute x بتساوي 0. We had it before, and here are some examples. Type the x-intercepts are the real solution to f of x بتساوي 0 اللي هي y معناها بتساوي 0, and the y-intercept اللي هي x value هي البيز 0, لأنه أساساً الإيكويشن حقتنا كانت شنو؟ كانت y is equal to f of x. Okay, so when we put the x value base 0, that means we'll get the y-intercept, and if we put the y is equal to 0, we will get the x-intercept. In particular, here there is an example. f of x بتساوي this magnitude of x minus 2. Find the x-intercept. طيب, to find the x-intercept معناها شنو؟ we put y is equal to 0. طيب, يبقى هيكون عندنا شنو؟ 0 is equal to magnitude of x minus 2, and this implies magnitude of x is equal to 2. And we knew before in the previous chapter how to solve this equation, correct? So this implies x بتساوي plus or minus 2. Yes? طيب, يبقى what are the points بتاعين الاكس انترسبت الاكس انترسبت اللي هم 2 و 0 و minus 2 و 0. Okay, so الاكس انترسبت عندنا values في حته الاكس طبعا, والواي هو 0. اكس انترسبت من التعريف بتاعه قلنا y is 0. طيب, find the y intercept. Now what if we want the y intercept for this? عايزين المرة دي شنو؟ y intercept. y intercept, how we get it? We substitute x بتساوي 0. يبقى to get the y intercept عندنا y هتساوي magnitude of x, so the magnitude of 0 and minus 2, and this implies the y is equal to minus 2. يبقى what is the y-intercept? The value حقت الpoint. What is the point of the y-intercept? It is the point طبعا x is 0 y is minus 2. So it is this point. Clear? طيب. Now, if we have the function written like that, y is equal to f of x. So we have an equation. How we can find the domain and how we can find the, okay, in particular, only the domain of the function. And we don't have a graph. We don't have a plot. Can we easily find this one or no? Yes. Always, okay, you take the whole real line. You will pick your x from where? From here. So you will consider كل real line. And what? You are going to remove from this the point where this function is not going to be defined. ابقى هطلع منهم البوينتس ياتا such that f of x is not defined. Okay. طيب for instance لو كان عندي y بتساوي 2x minus 4. هل في value when I substitute with it here في ال x axis I will have a problem? The function will not be defined? هل في any value like that? No. I can substitute ب0 ب1 بhalf ب3/4 ب square root of 5 ما في مشكلة. There is nothing. Okay. So that means in this case the domain is going to be the whole what? Real line. So the domain is R. Why? Because my function is defined everywhere. I can take any number and substitute with it here. Type when the function will not be defined. Give me some examples where the function is not defined. For instance, لو كانت الفانكشن حقتنا y بتساوي 2x minus 4 على x. Is it defined everywhere? هل الفانكشن دي معرفة؟ No. In particular, not everywhere. Where لو كانت ال x is equal to 0, the function is not going to be defined. Why? Because I have a division over 0. دخل أي عدد في الكالكوليتر. أي عدد you like and put over 0. You're going to find that the answer is going to be error. Because this is not defined at all. So always the first thing, we cannot divide over 0. If we have a function like this, okay, so what is the domain in this case? I will start thinking about the whole real line. But in this case, when I substitute with 0, the function is not going to be defined. So I have to take this out, 0 out. Okay, so in this case, what is your domain? My domain is the whole real line except the set 0 or the number 0, like that. So everything except the 0. That means the whole real line, but not the point, this one 0, but every other thing. That means everything from here to there and from here to there, but not this one. The whole point is 0. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll put here bracket. يبقى الانترفال حيكون شنو? From 0, but the 0 is included? No. So it's open from this side and up to infinity. And also what? From the other side, everything smaller than the 0, but not the 0. يبقى like this, and up to minus infinity, like that. So this is our, domain for this example, the one I gave it to you. I gave you. Type. So either I can write it like that, okay? Union طبعا minus infinity to 0, union اتحاد. So all the elements that are here and are here. Okay, this is going to be my domain, or else I can write it like that. So both ways are correct. Okay, clear? Type. This is the only thing that will give me a function that is not defined. No. From where I can get another problem? From the square root. If we have square root of, for instance, x. So how always this is defined for every real number? How always it is defined? No, we knew before. We knew that I cannot, if I substitute with a negative quantity, I'm going to get what? An imaginary number. which is not real. And if you substitute في الكالكوليتر مثلا with -2, what you will get? You'll get an error. And not only the -2, all the negative. So if the function is like that, you should have everything under the square root. Okay, a function under the square root should be greater than or equal to the 0. If I have here x, what is the domain? The domain x, what values x I can substitute with? Everything, but not the negative. So it's going to be, so always x should be greater than or equal to the 0. You can write it like that, or you can write it as r plus. اوكي طبعا معاها الزيرو، مرات الار بلس ما بيحسب معاها الزيرو. It's much better انك you write from where to where, from the 0 okay and closed like this, because the 0 ما في مشكلة to substitute with, and up to infinity. I can write like that as well. Okay, طيب what if the function was not only the x? What if it is كانت what if the function was like this, square root of x minus 2? So this is y is equal to this. What is the domain? From where you're going to pick your x? هل كل real numbers? No. Under the square root, it should be x minus 2 should be greater than or equal to the 0. That is, x should be greater than or equal to the 2. So you can write it like this, or else I can write it like what? If can the real line, this is the 2. So from 2 and okay, and we have equality. يبقى a 2 is closed from this side and up to infinity like that everywhere. So in this case, this is going to be my domain for this function. This is from where I can pick my x values and substitute with. Okay. طيب now what if it is الفانكشن حقتنا كانت مثلا 3 over the square root of x minus 2. Now I have two problems. The first one, I cannot divide over 0. And the second one, under the square root, it should be a positive quantity. صح? Or هل ممكن أقول or equal to 0? No, because here already I said I don't want to divide over 0. يبقى in this case, a difference between here and here في الدومين هنقول شنو؟ We should have x minus 2 to be positive. Can I put the equality equal? No, I cannot. Just greater than 0. لأنه I cannot divide over 0. Okay? يبقى لو كانت في البسط like this one, يبقى هاخد greater than or equal. But if it was in the denominator, I should put only greater than 0, because 0 is not allowed to divide over. And in this case, it's going to be x greater than 2. So x greater than 2. Okay, you can put it like that, or if you want to write it in terms of interval, it's going to be open bracket here 2 and up to infinity like that. So this is going to be your domain from where you can pick your numbers. Hopefully it's clear the domain. And this part is very important.
تيتشر كيف شلنا الجذر؟
ما شلت الجذر، الجذر قاعد. أنا عايزة أعرف ممكن أعوض بياته أعداد الدومين. هل مسموح لي بقى إنه أعوض بأي ريل نمبر أشيله وأعوض به في الدالة دي؟ هل دايما الدالة هتكون معرفة؟ لا. لما يكون عندي سكوير روت جذر، لازم يكون القيم اللي بعوض بها تديني الحاجة تحت السكوير روت تكون قيمة موجبة. otherwise هدخل في الكومبلكس نمبرز، ما حيكون دي الأعداد الحقيقية.
أيوة، يعني
أنا ما بشيل
أكبر
الجذر
من 2 عشان تكون موجب،
عشان يكون تحت الجذر كمية موجبة. يس.
دكتورة، الحالتين اللي فوق ال value of x that make dominator 0، يعني أنت تقصدي إن هذه الحالة error ما لها حل، أو إيش المقصود؟
هو عايز تجيب الدومين. اوكي، عايز تجيب القيم اللي ممكن تعوضي بيها. فيبقى شنو، انت always بتخطي في بالك في ذهنك انه كل الريل نمبرز، وتبدي تو اكزامين هل اي نمبر انا بقدر اعوض به ولا لا. طيب هل في حالات معينه بتعمل لي مشاكل؟ يس، لما يكون في قسمه ما يكون العدد تحت صفر، فانت بتشوف الفانكشن يعني هنا العدد صفر حيعمل لي مشكله في الداله دي. يبقى الدومين حقي حيكون شنو؟ كل الريل نمبرز اكسبت النمبر اللي هو حيعمل لي المشكله اللي هو الصفر، كان في نمبر واحد. طيب اديك اكزامبل ثاني يمكن تبقى كمان مور اوضح. طيب what if the function was حقتنا كانت مثلا 3x على x minus 2 مضروبة في square root of x minus 4. What do you think? What is the domain? First, I don't want down this quantity to be equal to 0. I don't. لأنه في قسمة. يبقى whenever you have a quotient function حاجة فيها بسط ومقام, you have to stop. Never say that all the real numbers. From where the problem can raise? From when this one part is equal to 0. طيب this part لو I equate it بالزيرو اوكي بيبقى 0 200 when if either this part is 0 or this part is 0. correct. يبقى شنو؟ طيب okay, this is equal to 0 200 x minus 2 equal to 0. that means when x is equal to 2 يبقى 2D will make a problem for me. I have to remove it from my domain. يبقى دي واحدة من البوينتس اللي أنا هستبعدها. I don't want it to. Okay, هل في others? Yes. Okay, if I put the x ب 4, correct? لأن هتبقى 4 minus 4 is going to be equal to 0. So another problem can be raised from the 4. So I have to exclude it. مش only 2, حتى ال 4. I have to remove it from my set of the domain. طيب هل خلاص كده المشاكل انتهت؟ No. I have to be careful. عندي تاني مشكلة ممكن تظهر اللي هي من وين؟ لأنه عندي square root. And الفانكشن بتكون defined 200 only لو under the square root is a positive value or equal to 0. But since the square root is down, also we cannot put the 0. Already we remove the 4. طيب يبقى we need what? We need x minus 4 to be what? This value تكون greater than what? تكون greater than a 0. That means what? That means your x should be a number that is greater than 4. يبقى what is going to be my domain? شرط أساسي الx. طبعا ال2 هستبعدها اوكي, والاربعه هستبعدها. طيب ومور اوفر لازم تحقق الثلاثه شروط دي. اوكي طيب يبقى the only way out اوكي انه from the 4 and يبقى what is the domain? The domain is open from the 4 and up to infinity. So these are the values that you can substitute with in your function. Is it more clear now? يبقى always you have to stop when you have in your function a division function أو a rational function اللي هي فيها بسط ومقام. Look at the denominator. If there is a way إنه يبقى زيرو خلاص يبقى stop. طبعا I want to ask you لو كانت الفانكشن حقتنا 2x minus 5 over 3. طيب what do you think? What is the domain in this case? الدومين حيكون شنو؟
الريل لاين كامل.
كل الريل لاين صح، لانه ما هنا ده عدد. this is not an x I'm going to substitute with. So there is no problem. If the domain كله 2x, every x I can substitute with. And I'm looking for the values that you are going to substitute with, and you will have no problem. And here it's clear كل real line. Okay, clear? Okay, now let's solve these two examples here.
دكتورة الدومين
Okay.
حق ال x minus 2 ليه ما كتبتيه؟ بس كتبتي حق ال x minus 4.
طيب where is the 2؟
اللي هي في الكسرة اللي فوق.
طيب أنا
اللي هي
okay, this is the real line, this is the 2, okay, and then 3 بعدين equal 4 بعدين okay. أنا عندي 2 I don't want it, but moreover I don't need all this, I need from 4 and upward. So خلاص عشان كده ده في بالي إن أساسا أنا I don't need it لأنه هنا في الشرط. You got it? You got it?
اوكي.
صح ولا لا؟ لأنه الشرط الأكبر إنه الإكس لازم تكون أكبر من 4. لو خطيت 2 هتبقى هنا لو خطيت 3 هيديني تحت السكوير روت 3 ماينس 4 هتبقى سكوير روت اوف ماينس 1 يبقى فير بروبلم.
يعني لازم يكون في شرط واحد بس ما ينفع
مش شرط كأنه
نقول الشرط هذا أو الشرط هذا.
this to happen and this to happen and this to happen إنه ما تكون 2 وما تكون 4 وتكون أكبر من 4. طيب عشان تكون أكبر من 4 ده كأنه هو الشرط الأكبر. يبقى خلاص يعني خلاص يبقى لما ناخد 4 ومور خلاص already I included إنها ما بتساوي الاثنين لأنه الأربعة أكبر من الاثنين. correct? You got the idea?
صحيح فهمتك.
Okay. هي كأنه intersection بتاع intervals. طيب الأولاني everything except the 2 والثاني everything except the 0. اوكي والثاني everything except ال4. يعني هنا كان كده وكان كده وهنا this one and this one and here 4 and more only this. يبقى الانترسكشن حقهم شنو؟ اللي هي الاريا دي صح؟ اللي هي الحد ما لا نهايه طبعا. يس
صحيح.
اللي هي 4 and more. اوكي now let's see this do these examples. طيب quickly x plus 5 على x minus 3, what do you think? What is the domain? The problem will raise from the division, so I cannot divide over 0. So x يبقى المفروض يكون ال x minus 3 ماله؟ x minus 3 should be greater than 3.
لا يساوي
x minus 3 greater than 0 صح؟ ما بقدر اخد اللي يساوي لانه I'm dividing, so that is x should be greater than 3. طيب the real line, this is the 3, so everything except this one. That means from what? From minus infinity and up to 3 union بعدها حاجي من بعد الثلاثة 3 and up to infinity. I can write it like that, or you can write it r except the number 3 like this, also a correct way. Clear? طيب here what is the domain? I don't need under the square root to be what? A negative quantity. That means x minus 3 is greater than هيحط الايكوال. فيها مشكله الايكواليتي؟ ما فيها مشكله. or equal to the 0. ليه؟ لانه ده قاعد في الدينومينيتور ما قاعد هنا في النيوميريتور. صح في النيوميريتور, so I can put the equality and that means x should be greater than or equal to the 3. So you can put it like that, or you can put it like هنا this 3 and up to infinity like that. So hopefully it's clear.
Yes.
طيب I don't know, I stop here or I can continue a little.
دكتور الشرط حق الاكس
ها
3 مو المفروض يكون كمان اصغر من 3 يعني يا الاكس يكون greater او less than 3
كيف less than 3 طب
مو انت قلتي
اديك
من
عدد
الماينس ما لا من الماينس انفينيتي تو 3
انت بتتكلم عن الاكزامبل الثاني دي ولا حاجه غيرها
ايوه هذا الجيفن فيكس اللي
طيب
فيها
شوف دائما under the square root المفروض تكون كميه موجبه
لا اللي فوق واللي فوق الكسر
طيب هي الفوق والكسر طيب ما في جذر اوكي هنا ده ما ماينس ده
اوكي
every real number but not the 3 يعني اي عدد غير بس ما الثلاثه بس نستبعد الثلاثه يعني تاخذ كل الريل لاين and the 3 remove it ده المينينج بتاع اوكي or from minus infinity and up to 3 يعني في كل الاعداد النيجاتيف هير اوكي
تيتشر
يعني
بس انت
مثلا
كاتبة x minus 3 أكبر من 0.
this one here يا جماعه
No
this one for
no
this
no
example here
لا هي تقصد اللي فوق يا دكتوره اللي
أيوة
مكتوب
الفوق.
x minus
this
3
one ده
greater than 0 انه هذه الاوبريشن
لا
المفروض
دي
يعني
لازم تساوي لا تساوي صفر سوري اوكي
مم.
لا تساوي زيرو طيب بتساوي زيرو 200 لما x مفروض معناه لا تساوي 3 سوري اوكي that is x مفروض ما تساوي 3 اوكي يبقى تساوي شنو تساوي ده هو نفس المعنى ده you can write it like that or you can write it like this one here
بس هي هذه اللي سوت لنا كونفيوز بس خلاص يعطيك العافيه
so is it clear طيب now احنا
يس كلير
ما نقسم على صفر انا طبعا كان المفروض اقول اخذ عليك شنو x minus 3 greater than 0 او x minus 3 less than 0 both are possible but not 3 yes and easily بدل ما اكتب كده واكتب كده I can write what x minus 3 not equal to 0 should not equal to 0 that means x should not equal to 3 okay this is the only problem yeah this is the only problem and this is هيكون شنو this is the real line this is the number 3 so this one I remove it so everything else it will be included this one from minus infinity and up to the 3 correct here open from this side and also from a 3 and to شنو للinfinity but 3 is not included عشان كده بكتبها من minus infinity to 3 union from 3 to infinity is it okay now
يس بس يعني انت من اول المحاضره كنت بتقولي انه زي كده انه جريتر بس ما قلتي عدم مساواه بس ما هي مشكله خلاص فهمنا الحين
okay I'm sorry okay طيب okay I can stop here but wait for a while